After a couple of hours with Psyvariar 3 on Nintendo Switch 2, I simply cannot recommend this game for you to pick up. Let me tell you why. So firstly, I do want to thank the publishing team at Red Art Games. They did provide me a code for this game. Ultimately, though, I'm still going to be honest with my thoughts, but I do feel like I need to put that out there with what I'm about to say because I did not part with any money to get this game, to play this game, and I think I need to take that into consideration because that is why, ultimately, I feel like I cannot recommend this game. So Psyvariar 3 is a game that is a long-awaited sequel to a series that started way back on PlayStation 2. It is a shoot-'em-up style game, and it does have a number of modes associated with it. So I'll just run you through those now. There is a sort of classic arcade mode with 7 areas that sort of grows in difficulty as you play through the game. If you were able to beat it first time through, you could probably get that done in 20 to 30 minutes. It would be very unlikely that you would first run through, but within 5 or 6 runs, I was getting up to that final boss. So I think if I continued to play it within another hour or so, I would knock through the arcade mode. There is a mission mode where there is 7 missions associated with each of the 7 playable characters. 7 does seem to be a bit of a theme with this game, and that is there for if you want a bit more of a challenge. There is an endless mode, which I found to be largely irrelevant because you pick a random seed and you can just play through to just sort of hone your skills, but there's ultimately no point to this mode. The other 2 sort of notable modes to go with the arcade mode is a mode called Caravan, where you basically have 2 minutes, a sort of a quick 2-minute challenge, get as high a score as possible in that time. And I think that could be pretty interesting for people that if they do pick it up and really want to try and maximize what they can accomplish in that time. And there is a mode called Arrange, where your ship starts at level 256, so the maximum level, and you can just play through the game from there with a ship at full strength. There is a leaderboard for offline and online, and this is a negative in my personal opinion. The leaderboards are tied to the arcade mode, the Arrange mode with your ship at full strength, and the Caravan mode, the 2-minute challenge. But every leaderboard is tied to the playable character and not just the overall play. And when I was playing, there weren't many people that have picked up this game or played it. And so as a result, there really wasn't a lot of competition when everything has to get divided 7 ways. So that was a negative. Another negative was I did play this game on the train as I was traveling to and from work. And because there are online leaderboards and I was offline playing on the train, every time I died, the game tried to load the leaderboards, tried to get me back online, and this was a big pain point for me personally. Also, I found when I was playing offline in handheld mode, there was stuttering to the frame rate. I think for the game, as you can see visually on the screen here, the gameplay here is probably from my first 45 minutes to an hour. It really isn't a game that should be demanding that when you consider what you're looking at. And the gameplay doesn't even cover the full length of the screen as well. It really shouldn't be stuttering. I've got an issue with the Arrange mode. The game, this particular mode has you start at full strength. Still, while playing, the game would constantly say that you were leveling up like you were just playing the arcade mode. And that is just ridiculous. Like, they should have dealt with that before release. It's kind of unacceptable in my opinion. Other pain points for me personally is I don't feel like there is a level of skill possible that you could avoid every bullet that is being shot at you throughout the game. So really, you just have to sort of level up your game, get more credits, and try and last as long as possible. So I felt like there's sort of a level of skill that you can acquire in this game, but I just don't feel like it was fun. And I don't find that the sound design was very good. And also, even though I understand that the game is sort of harkening back to the PlayStation 2 era, I really found the visuals to be unacceptable. When you consider that this game is going at full price on the Australian eShop for $30, which is, coming out the week right now of a game like Mina the Hollower, which is going to be actually cheaper at full price for this game. There are two sort of somewhat similar games that I have reviewed earlier this year in Mini Shoot Adventures and Sectori. As I said, they're not 100% the same genre, but they are, you're flying around in a ship, avoiding sort of bullets. Sectori is more of a twin stick shooter. Mini Shoot Adventures is a twin stick shooter that's more of an adventure game. This is, of course, a classic sort of shoot 'em up style game, but for the price, Mini Shoot Adventures and Sectori are cheaper, probably about 25% cheaper at full price on the Australian eShop, and they are objectively better games. So it is really hard for me to recommend this game for you. I've roughly played about 2 hours of this game. I acknowledge that if I wanted to do a full review, I could probably play 5 hours or more. And I can say that I was starting to get better as I began to play more and more. But the fun that I was having with the game was getting less and less. And I don't want to play this game anymore. So this is why this is more of a first thoughts rather than a full review. So if I were to score it, I'd be honestly thinking in that 2-star or 2.5-star range. Because ultimately, money-wise, I can't recommend it when there are better games out there, even of similar styles for less money. And in terms of time, even though I've only put 2 hours into this game, I really wish I had spent my time playing something else. So these are my thoughts with the game. I know there's not a lot of positives there, but I do feel like if you really want to play a classic shoot 'em up style game, I think you can find some enjoyment out there. I've seen some other reviews. If you want to check out Noisy Pixel, I watched their review. They gave it a 9 out of 10. So if you want to see a more glowing review, go check out their review. But if you have played this, let me know what you think. Am I wrong? Am I right? Feel free to let me know in the comments. My name is Dazza. Thank you very much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. We do a lot of reviews, lists, and talk about the news of the day. Thank you for watching. Have yourself a fantastic day. I'll see you later.